world poverty. Poverty is very important subject to study in development economic. Because it has impact on the demand sides and development item. Firstly, we give some information about poverty statistics. Some 2,600 million people live on less than $2 per day. In the poorest countries of the world, 43% of children under age 5 are starving. Over 12% die before reaching age 5. Average life expectancy is 59. 50% of women and girls over age 15 cannot read and write. This is some idea about the situation of poverty in the world. Gross national income, GNI, income generated from production of nation output, identical to gross national product, GNP. Broadest of all income concept, focus on more concrete idea of people's income rather than national product. GNI per capita, per person. Gross national income per person on average equal total GNI over total population. And there is some statistics of GNI in some countries, in developed and developing countries. Economic growth depend on poverty. Growth in GDP per capita over time, usually several years. Calculate two ways as average annual growth rate to real GDP. Real, not monetary GDP. It's different. An average annual growth in GDP minus average annual population growth over some time period. And give some data about average annual economics growth rate in table 7.3 in Chad, Sri Lanka, China, Vietnam, Uruguay, and so on. Problem in measuring well-being of people. Use of GNI and GDP data ignoring the issue of composition of GDP. Item of production of which GDP consists of. Distribution of GNI. Distribution of income between different income groups. Income is never distributed equally. Unfair. There is unfair. Therefore, high value of GNI per capita really tell us nothing about standard of living of most of country of people, because it tell us nothing about the distribution of this income. Income distribution, so two ways to measure share of country of total income that goes to each fifth of population. Lorentz curve reflects this distribution. Share of total income that goes to poorest 20% of population, measuring to improve equality, elimination of price distortion to ensure that certain group receive more adequate or suitable income. Raising of agriculture price would lead to higher income for low-income farmers. For example, higher tax on wealth and the income of high-income people. Government might use this revenue to improve basic service to poor. Redistribution of asset probability that own, such as land. Greater equality in ownership of income earning assets is often fundamental to ensure great equality of income. And the table 7.4 gives data about income distribution in some countries. Economic development and standard of living. Economic development multifaceted process that involve improvement in standard of living. Standard of living is the basic for development. Reduction in poverty and the growth in GDP per capita. Many economists use measures that directly indicate actual well-being of people. Well-being raise the standard of living of people of less developed countries, rather than really on economic or output data alone. Best indicator of living standards, well-being, average life expectancies, because good health, age in which baby born in particular year can be expected to live, infant mortality rates, number of babies who die with first year of life per 1,000 live births, average life expectancy and infant mortality rate. This happen in poorest countries because lack of good service of health. Avoiding income distribution problem with respect to GNI per capita. Avoid measurement problem inherent in income and output statistics. Life expectancies, for example, don't need to adjust for inflation, exchange rate, market price is more either. This measurement problem sometimes distort comparison of income and output between different countries. Measure end result of governmental program and state of economy. Easily conceptualized by policymaker and populace alike. Life expectancy and infant mortality rate statistics in some countries available in table 7.5. Newly industrialization countries: Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, and other countries achieving rapid growth through industrialization. Characteristic of success: well education labor force, fairly homogeneous entrepreneurial culture, international condition conducive to success at the time of early development. Capital intensive technology and labor intensive technology. We make comparison. Capital intensive technology utilize large amount of capital. Labor intensive technology utilize large amount of labor. Can utilize large number of people who would otherwise be unemployed. Key to development often lie on agriculture sector. Is the characteristics of developing country. Agriculture development of agriculture sector in most less developed country or developing countries is now recognized as extremely important. Most of world poor live in agriculture sector, hence efforts to benefit this sector will most directly benefit needly as well. Agriculture sector typically offer greater potential for development. Techniques also tend to be far more labor intensive in agriculture than in modern industry because agriculture absorbs more employment, thereby offering employment for large number of people. Agriculture sector most directly addresses most vital need to all people, that of food security, access to input intensive and market. For agriculture development to occur or to happen and the food security to be achieved, both government of developing country and the international community must fulfill or achieving important roles. Land must be redistributed in a manner that allows more appropriate income distribution and maximum incentive for agriculture production. Farmers must have access to necessary seeds, fertilizers, irrigation, animal structure, and vehicles. This is the tools for agriculture. Financing must be arranged for masses of poor farmers. Farmer will require extension service if they are to use increasing complex but more productive farming techniques and input. Farmer will also require reliable transport and market facilities. Price ceiling or maximum price, legalized maximum price for goods or service. One goal is to keep price of basic necessities low for poor consumers. Although many urban people may be poor, urban dwellers tend to have higher income and lower poverty rates than rural residents too. In process of holding down price for better off group, government also keep low agriculture price received by farmers, result in two serious problems. Rural income fall and poor farmer become poorer. Incentive for agriculture production are reduced. Price ceiling in figure 7.1 about $1, and this impact make demand greater than supplies because the price less than equilibrium price. International role. International community must assist low-income countries to meet agriculture development and food security needs. Must develop systems to ensure that adequate and timely food aid will be available to countries in emergency situation. Must be caution about continuing to provide food in non-emergency situation. Ongoing food aid leads to dependence by less developed countries and pushes down food prices, thereby lower incentives for local food production. International community might also enact measures to ensure greater stability for world food prices. Establishment of international better buffer stocks. Mechanism of stable agriculture price whereby an agriculture product is purchased and placed shortage during years of high production and released from storage and sold during years of low production. Must also undertake effort to ensure that bottlenecks, the problem of inadequate transport, shipping, port, and storage facilities are resolved. Human and natural resources development, investment in human capital, spending designed to improve productivity of people by education. Human incentive program have not only immediate benefit, namely improve standard of living of beneficiary, but also long-term payoff in development of more productive labor force and better educated citizens. Education also had hold most promise. Numerous or many studies have linked education, primarily of women, to widespread benefit, reduce infant mortality rate, improve child nutrition, later age of marriage, lower birth rate, greater likelihood that children will be educated. Development economists are also recognized need for safe and convenient water supply. Steps are also being taken to stop deforestation. Clearing of forest area and managed fishing and desertification, encroachment of desert on previously fertile land. Woman role in development, government and international policy alike have neglected women in developing countries. Third world women have lower standard of living than men counterpart. Women typically have literacy rate, don't read and write, for below those of men. High international mortality rate, number of these women for virgins related reason per 100,000 live births. Women less likely to receive agriculture extension service agriculture credit and access to agriculture input, even through primarily responsible for producing most substance food crops. Population growth, this is the item of impact on poverty. Many people believe that high population growth is a problem in many low-income countries or developing countries, because more people means more sharing of already limited resources. If we consider population to be a problem only related to resource, then must realize that less than 1/5 of world population in high income countries, developed countries, over 3/4 of world goods and services. Urbanization in some countries, under employment. One cause of urban poverty is the high level of unemployment. Under employment, people work limit hours on or with low productivity. Much under employment occur in urban informal employment sector. Employment sector consists primarily of service occupation in an unofficial setting. Some serious disease like AIDS impact on poverty in Africa, and the malaria, and some statistics about these problems. Thank you.